Well, protests continue to sweep across the country following grand jury decisions not to indict police officers in Ferguson and in New York City. But today, residents and city leaders came together in Rochester to try to further the discussion about race, inequality, and what we can do to improve our communities.
I marched, I was tear gassed, so I know exactly what those people in Ferguson went through.
There's many different lessons that can come from these type of incidents. Like what happens when we allow fear and anger to dictate our actions.
On Wednesday, more than 100 people turned out to Christ United Methodist Church for a forum to talk about how race factors into issues of law enforcement and our criminal justice system as a whole. Community leaders said not only do we need reform, but we also need proactive measures to address the inequalities that perpetuate injustice.
We have a lot of African American men or minorities in the criminal justice system. Yes, there's a piece of racism or a racist system or a past racist system, but on the other hand, we need to figure out, okay, how do we get them out and keep them out? Because a lot of those kids grow up with criminality as normality.
With many national protests aimed at reforming the way law enforcement officers interact with people of color, local leaders said it's a message they're taking to heart and say a lot of the responsibility rests with the administration.
It's a tough time for law enforcement. It's a tough time for the country. But there's a good side of that, and all of that means that things are changing, and there's a real potential for greater change.
Many at Wednesday's forum acknowledged the fact that problems won't be solved overnight, but said they hope conversations like these can be the start of real, systematic change.
Hopefully we can come up with some proactive ideas on how we can get ahead of the disparities and the problems we see in the criminal justice system as it relates to African American men.
In Rochester, John Detcott, ABC 6 News.